How about this next one?
Look at this man.
Taking a seat now, we've got Ross. Oh, wait, what was that, Clayton?
The real
The
champ.
real champion.
Something like
The
that.
best beard in the business.
This is Ross Wuensche. Is that how you say your last name? I don't know if I've
Wuensche.
ever say it. Wuensche.
Don't worry, it's been mispronounced every way.
Well, we're going to get it right. Ross Wuensche from
He's
the
a
scouting
word
department.
professional, though. He should know it by now.
I should know it by now, but I do know you've got some style, sir. How about this suit?
Yeah, this is
Fake
This is
it till you
incredible.
make it, man. Fake it till you make it.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Day 3 is the real the day where you can show the drip, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, just bring the juice in the morning, Long day ahead, so.
I mean, for a scout, day 3 is really when you get in your bag overall. So it's you got to show up in your bag too, right?
Yeah, we kind of take pride in today. It's kind of the scout day, so we're gonna get after it, and we're gonna find some players.
Now, is it exciting or is it stressful going into day 3 knowing you have 7 picks on the board, but you have to wait as long as you do getting into round number 5?
Yeah, I mean, sitting there and watching 73 players or whatever go off is going to suck, but I mean, we're prepared for it. We've done, plenty of strategy meetings. We've got, situational stuff. If this happens, this happens. We're pretty prepared for it, and then when we finally get on the clock, we're going to find a player, and we're just going to keep swinging. So,
Ross, you kind of alluded to it, but this is the day where Will and your staff has had a lot of success. As you've kind of watched over the years, you go through this process. Why do you think that is? What is it that you guys do, maybe different from other teams or in your philosophy, that makes you so successful day 3?
Yeah, we do a good job, and obviously Brian knows a little bit about this, but we're a one draft class team. So from July to May, we focus on one class. We don't prepare for next year's class. We take that pressure, and it's a lot of weight on our shoulders, but we focus on one class. Will tasks us with doing a lot. And in the end, it makes us better scouts. So we know the players when it's time to pick them. So I think that's part of it. Is whenever we go to training camp until today, we're working on one singular draft class, and we pour over it and stick to it. So
I think there's a lot of honor to be had in sticking to the board, especially when there is pressing needs at other spots. That philosophy, where does that stem from? And then the players you came away with yesterday, you got to be thrilled with those two, right?
No, yesterday was awesome. We feel really good about those two. Donovan's him with Micah, that'll be fun. Obviously, Sam, Nealon, can never have enough rushers. That's that in corners, which we ended up taking him to Siobhan too. So yeah, just adding those guys, and then it was a no doubter. Stick to the board. We felt really good about the names we had up there. Obviously, we had some trade calls that we weighed. We felt good about those too, but when it was time to, it's why pass up players we love that we think can help us? So we took them, knowing that today we'd have to sit out 70-something picks, but we valued the players that highly enough that we're like, let's just do it.
How much did Steve Shimko help in the evaluation of Ezaraku?
Jimmy, he came in there, and it was kind of funny. We had an offensive coach selling a defensive player.
He had to block him every day,
Usually
right?
It's the opposite. They're crying about, I need this guy. But he was awesome. I mean, he's got hands-on experience with Donovan. He sold him. Obviously coached against him in practice. He's going to make our guys better. And then on Sundays, he's going to help us win games because he can rush the passer. So,
Ross, you've been rising up the ranks here, man. I mean, you were finding Deron Bland when you were an area scout and now moving up to the national. How is this draft different for you, maybe from going from the area scout to the national scout? And then for people that don't even know, what is the difference there for a scout? Could you maybe inform and let us know some insights on that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've probably evaluated pretty good amount of the kids on our board, which is that's different from being an area guy. I'm thankfully tasked with doing a lot more, focusing on the meat of the guys we're interested in. And then, so for me, I get to, compare them. It's not just Deron, it's Deron and Ravel if they're in the same class, so I can stack those guys. I got a good feel for them. I like this guy more than this guy. That's really the main difference is just, getting eyes on players and helping when it's time to make a selection. Hey, I like this guy a little bit more than this guy. This is why. So,
what makes that kid from East Carolina special?
Well, his story, number one. I mean, that's where Shadi. I give him a lot of credit. We're gonna build something special here from a culture aspect, and all 3 guys we've taken so far help with that. But his story is incredible. And then when he came in here, you could feel his presence. And then obviously the player, man. Like
Yeah.
he's height, weight, speed, but he's physical. He loves to mix it up. We got some stuff to clean up, but we think the upside's through the roof. He's got all press traits. We can play him in the boundary. He's going to be. I mean, it's going to be fun. And
Yeah, it seemed like that when you talked about taking the players and following your board. It's just like we're all sitting here. It's like, well, they've got to take a runner here. They got, we're going on and on and on. Everybody's doing it. You're kind of like saying, you know what? We don't care about our needs right now. We're just going to go draft football players. And it seems like the board really fell to you that way. You had some discussions here and there, but it just seems like you guys are drafting your board.
Yep.
And it's not bothering you one bit if you need a runner or receiver or anything like that.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously we got some holes which we're going to fill today. We're going to try to, but I mean, we keep operating the way we are. I don't think we're going to miss. I mean, it's like that's part of it. And Mr. Jones and Steven obviously trust us with our evaluation process and showed us shoddy. And when we see a blinking light, hey, you guys liked them. There's a reason we liked them. Let's go get them. And we think we found 3 starters yesterday. So
One thing we were talking about was it seemed like more and more guys weren't wanting to work out, whether it was like, I'm going to skip the pro day or I'm only going to go do this and that at the combine. Does that make the evaluation harder, or is it just we're just going to rock with what we saw on tape?
It definitely throws a wrench in it, but there's obviously gives and takes with a lot of it, and that's just we got to trust what we have, the information that we have, and then I think it goes back to us being a one draft class team. Is that hey, we saw this kid in August. Like we're talking to CV yesterday about Ravel. Like when he left East Carolina in August, he knew there was a guy. So we just stick with that, and then he had the injury and all that, but the tape is a tape, and then we got our eyes on him. We felt good about him when he was healthy, and then just roll with it. So
I'd be curious with this transfer portal era. There's so many guys who see the elevation and competition throughout their career. Do you kind of hunt those guys down in the sense that, hey, they've already experienced that jump in competition, so we know that maybe the transition could be a little bit easier to the NFL? I guess Ravel would be a good example, going from JUCO to the AAC, but is that something that you mark as a positive with some guys, negative? How do you guys look at that?
yeah, I mean that's something we have to weigh, and each situation's different. Like why is the kid transfer? And Duran was another example.
Yeah.
And that's kind of before all the craziness that is now. But like DB obviously played at SAC, and we liked him at SAC, and then he transferred up. But yeah, it's something to monitor. Just like what's the reason behind the transfer, and then talking when we finally get to talk to the kids, feel them out. Like what's up? It's like, well, I'm a MAC guy. I wanted to go play SEC football, that kind of stuff. Like. Or, I felt my situation wasn't great. So there's gives and takes with a lot of it, and then we just balance that with the character we have on the kids and just get a good feel for it.
National Scout Ross Wuensche joining us here on the Draft Show. Ross, thank you so much. Good luck today. It is the day of the Scouts. We'll talk to you again down the line, and hopefully after you get some more good football players today.
Sounds good. Yeah, we will. We'll find some players today too. So
there he goes. The best dressed in the room today, by the way. No doubt about it. Ross Wuensche joining us. All right, we have to step aside. It's the 2023 NFL Draft Day 3 on 105.3 The Fan and DallasCowboys.com.